Yeah, our guys thought they played really, really hard today. We were tough. We were physical. Uh, credit to Texas State. They finished plays. They made shots against us. It was a very, very physical, one of the most physical games I've been a part of. We didn't finish as many plays. We had a lot of open opportunities getting to the basket, and we didn't finish them. These two guys, Aamer Muhammad and Christyon Spud Eugene, have been phenomenal for us all year long. We've had a phenomenal season, winning 20 games. It's a disappointment because everybody's goal and at the beginning of the season is to go to the NCAA tournament, and we came up short. Felt like this team was a team that was good enough to go to the NCAA tournament. But credit to Texas State, they got the job done. They're playing really good basketball right now, and they're playing very, very tough and physical.
And we'll open up now for questions right here in the front.
Coach Chris Dotson, Scott Central. First, just missing Miles when he went out in only 11 minutes really helped the team this year. How did you adjust from there, knowing how big of a part of your team you were missing?
Yeah, I mean, we tried the best we could. Miles is probably our most physical finisher. He's a guy that really can get the ball to the basket and finish through contact. This is a game you have to finish through contact, and it was a big loss, but we had enough guys to still get the job done. We didn't do it. We have to have the next man up mentality. I thought we were still going to be able to do it, but we came up a little bit short, unfortunately.
Question here in the front row.
John Johnson from the Dose Eagle. Scott, what did happen to Miles?
I don't know. I hadn't seen it on films. I think they said maybe he caught an elbow and then his head landed on the floor, I think is what happened. But, I think he's got a concussion, yes.
And y'all obviously handled yourself on the boards unlike a week
Yeah.
ago. What was the difference, though, you think, in the second half? What did they do differently?
They made plays. I mean, their guys were very. I mean, Jordan Mason was phenomenal. The plays that he finished around the basket. I mean, we were walling up. He was still scoring to be 9 for 11, and the game is tough and as physical as this. That's a huge credit to him. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. I mean, phenomenal game. Davion Sykes did a great job as well. Finishing through contact and making plays. But a lot of them were off of our turnovers. We had some careless turnovers that really, bit us. We did create quite a few turnovers ourselves, but they did a little bit better job walling up and keeping us from finishing in transition. Again, we had to keep our turnovers to 12 or less to really have a legitimate chance of winning basketball games. We're a little bit too careless. I'm sure that had a lot to do with the nerves. First game here in the conference tournament. But again, can't make excuses. Texas State was a tougher team.
Question here in the middle.
Getting back to the Metropolitan Church, the free throws, the bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
How much did that affect you?
Yeah, I think it definitely affected us. I go back, the shoot-around time was, like 8 and 7 something in the morning. You got to get up at 6:45, bus over here. We had a few guys that did come over here. We left it optional. I thought we were going to have, which we did. We had plenty of time to warm up, but I don't know if maybe I should have, looking at it, hindsight's 20/20. Maybe we should have came over here and made them shoot some more free throws. But, I think free throws are a mental thing. When things are going your way, you're in the flow. It's a little bit easier. You start missing them. All of a sudden, the rim gets a little bit smaller, and and unfortunately, some of our really good free throw shooters, we weren't able to get to the free throw line. And Miles is another guy that is one of our better free throw shooters, and obviously, he was unavailable there for most of the game.
A question in the back left here.
Coach, hey, Paul Chestnut, Fox Sports, Pittsburgh Radio. You had a double bye. Said this was your first game night. Just having the double, you're playing a team that won in overtime first game.
Yeah.
Next game, they fail momentum.
Yeah.
Just talk about the double bye.
Yeah. I mean, I would rather have the double bye, but I think obviously you get your first game jitters out. After that, I think it's a little bit easier once you do play that first game. But it's really, really hard to win, 4 or 5 games in this because the teams are so evenly matched. You could see in the first game, I mean, App State went through it a little bit as well. Georgia Southern was right there. I think, App struggled a little bit with them. But again, can't make excuses. We just didn't get it done, unfortunately.
Question back center here.
Todd White down in Dothan. You, at the early end, when you were kind of started to get in that press defense, started to really pick up a little bit of momentum. It seemed like got the lead down to around 6 points, I think, and then missed a couple easy looks, had a couple turnovers. What did it take to get it done there and make that?
Yeah, our guys were flying around. It looked like we had one or two opportunities. Maybe if we, one more step, we get a ball. Maybe it could change the game. We're right there. If you could have got one or two more steals, but I think our guys got pretty tired because it does expend a lot of energy. It's not something that we work on a whole lot because you don't plan on being down late in the game, and so it's the guys did respond from a timeout, having to, kind of put them in positions, put new guys out there, and they did the best they could. I think they did a good job executing it, and, we created a lot of havoc, but, ultimately didn't create enough.
Right here in the front.
Chris Dodson.
Yeah.
You talked about empty possessions, 27 turnovers, points in the paint only 22. Was some of that dealing with the adjustment of missing Miles, or maybe your team adjusting to that scrum when everybody come together? Yeah,
I think it's just so physical that it's a little bit of a shock to the system, which, it was physical on both ends. It's not like they weren't calling it one way or the other. It was a bloodbath, and it's if it's not something you practice on every day, in practice we're calling a lot of fouls because there's some games where there may be 30, 40 fouls on each team, and so I think it was a little bit of a shock to the system. But both teams had the same thing. Both teams had the same ball, same goals. It's just they made a few more plays than us is the bottom line.
Back left corner, Paul.
Coach, can you talk about where your program is at right now? Because it seems like you've really turned it around.
Yeah. Well, these guys have turned it around right here. The credit goes to them. Coach is nothing without players, without leaders. These two guys have been phenomenal. Spud, every year he's been here, we've won 20 games. Aamer, his 2 years that he's been here, we've won 20 games. These guys have provided great leadership for us. They're really, really talented basketball players. They're even better people. They've I can't say enough great things for them. Spud was first team all conference. Felt like Aamer should have been all conference as well. But there's so many great players in the league. Usually the team that wins it gets the most guys, and that's the way it goes. But Spud was very deserving of it, and I'm super, super thankful for both these guys. They've been absolutely phenomenal for the program, and I'll be forever indebted to these guys for how much they've given blood, sweat, tears. We're practicing every single morning at 7 o'clock. They've went through 3 boot camps, 2 boot camps. Both these guys are super tough. They're going to go on and do great things. They're both going to be able to play professionally somewhere, and they're going to be super, super successful. And then once the ball stops bouncing, both of them will have their degree, and they'll be able to go on and do something great with their lives as well, because they're great leaders and they're great human beings too.
One here in the front, John.
Both guys, if you can just kind of talk about that a little bit, what y'all been through at Troy, and I know I see the hurt on your face right now, how you feel right now, but y'all have accomplished a lot there, and just kind of expound on that a little bit.
I'd say for me, I just want to thank Coach Cross and Coach Worley and the staff from last year for giving me the opportunity to even be in this situation. But my journey here at Troy has been unbelievable. Like he said, my 2 years here, we won 20 games, and I believed in Coach Cross from day one. What he wanted to do as far as getting his program where he needs to be in 20 games, where is his standard. So I just followed along with that. But man, I'm so grateful, and we put in so much work here at Troy. We take the stairs. That's our motto. We're just tough, But unfortunately tonight, we weren't that tough. So
Me being here at Troy, I went through a lot. There was a lot of ups and downs, mostly ups. My first year here, played hard, not giving the minutes I thought I deserved, but I played all my minutes. Second year, came back, did great, and this year I was deserved for that. So I want to thank Coach Cross for recruiting me, Coach Worley, and all the coaching staff. But it's a grind every day for sure. But it's gonna make you better, a better human being, a better player. So I want to thank them for that also.
One of the things, like our guys were tough tonight. One of my old mentors talks about, there's going to be 3 games where you shoot the ball exceptionally well. You're going to win those games no matter what. There's going to be 3 games where the other team shoots the ball exceptionally well. You're probably not going to win those 3 games. Bottom line, I think that was this game. They shot the ball really, really well. I don't think it was because we weren't playing great defense. They just, they made shots, and that's what this game is about, is making shots. And so, hats off to them. Coach TJ had them prepared, and they did a great job and made shots.